Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and get started with our meeting. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rachel Morse, and I am the chair of the Board of Directors for Chugach Electric Association, and I am the chair of tonight's meeting. I'd like to welcome all of you to the annual membership meeting for your electric cooperative. This is our first in-person meeting since the COVID-19 pandemic, and we are really glad to see all of you here. Yeah, I'll clap for that. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge that we gather today on the traditional lands of the Dena'ina Athabascans. For thousands of years, the Dena'ina have been and continue to be the stewards of this land. It is with gratitude and respect that we recognize the contributions, innovations, and contemporary perspectives of the Upper Cook Inlet Dena'ina. Thank you. Will you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chugach is the largest electric utility in Alaska, with more than 90,000 member owners. We provide service to over 113,000 metered locations in an area extending from Anchorage to northern Kenai Peninsula and from Whittier to Tyonek on the west side of Cook Inlet. Chugach also provides power for Alaskans in the rail belt through wholesale and economy energy sales. As members of the cooperative, you are the owners of Chugach, and we're happy to see you here this evening. Tonight, our MC is Chugach's Senior Manager of Corporate Communications, Julie Haskett, who will help make sure we stay on track. Julie.
Thank you, Rachel. Can somebody bring me one of those blue voting cards? I just realized I'm supposed to have one in my hand. I have a few announcements as we get underway. As a reminder, for those of you, thank you, who have not yet voted, you can vote until the close of the break, which comes after each candidate makes a statement. At the table in the back, you'll find all of the information for tonight's meeting. There is an agenda, the one that you've for tonight. You'll also find copies of the 2019, 2020, and 2021 annual meeting minutes for your review before we get to that point on the agenda. There's also the Chugach annual report from 2021. Please pick it up and read it. It's full of very interesting things that I wrote. So anyway, the annual report is on the website as well. We've also provided note cards for you tonight. If you would like to ask a question at the end, there's a box in the back. You can write your question on it now, and we will get to as many as we can at the end. We're also going to do a few from up here. But if you pre-write them, it just saves a little bit of time, and we can get them together and answer them at the end. And if we can't get to all your questions tonight, we will be happy to follow up after the meeting. Registration tables in the back of the room. All members of record should register and pick up this card that allows you to vote tonight on the agenda and on the minutes. Even if you've already voted electronically by mail, please register so we make sure we have a quorum. And again, the registration will be open until the close of our recess. And as a reminder, the first 200 registered members tonight got a $25 gift certificate to Bell's Nursery. Those certificates are part of Chugach's participation in Arbor Day, which was Friday, April 29th. We hope that you'll recognize Arbor Day by using your certificate to plant a tree or a shrub, but remember, please do not plant under or on top of a power line. And if you need help knowing the distances to plant, we can help you with that. There's a thing on our website called Right Tree, Right Place, and it tells you how to plant correctly. Later, at the very end of the evening, because I want you to stay the whole time, we're going to have drawing for some really great door prizes. We have 10 $100 gift certificates. That's your blue ticket. And then at the end, the pink ticket is that cute little 4x4 truck out there. It's a 2006, but it only has 29,000 miles on it, and that comes with snow tires. So again, yeah, I know, right? Raffle tickets for door prizes are blue. Pink is the truck. If you haven't torn them and put them in the glass jar in the back, please do that before the end of the meeting. I'd like to introduce a few other people. Oh, yes? If you find a random blue card with raffle tickets on it, the owner is right there. I would like to introduce a few other people tonight. We have our acting CEO, Arthur Miller, who's here. We have our legal counsel, Matt Clarkson. Sherry Hires, who is our CFO. Andrew Laughlin, who is our acting COO. Over here, we have our board members. We have Aaron Whitney, our chair, Rachel Morse, our vice chair, Bettina Chastain, our treasurer, Harold Hollis, and Director Sam Kaysen. And I believe Director Wiggin is on our Zoom. He couldn't be here tonight, but he signed up for the Zoom. So I believe that he is, oh, Jim Henderson is all the way in the back. We have a table for you up here if you want. Jim Henderson is also on the board. And Barbara Kraft Simpson is acting as our parliamentarian tonight. So she makes sure that we do all things parliamentarily correct. Will Master Election Judge Don Bundick please come forward? The bylaws state that 7.5% of all members of the association, including at least 50 members present in person, shall constitute a quorum for a regular or special meeting of the members. The 7.5% has already been accomplished through electronic and mail voting. Therefore, we need 50 registered members in attendance at the annual meeting in order to vote on issues that come before us. Dawn, how many members do we have registered?
Thank you. We have a total of 264 at 6:00 p.m.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
So then we have reached our quorum. So now, Rachel comes, Director Morris, back to the podium, please, to go through the approval of the minutes.
Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the 2019, 2020, and 2021 annual meetings. We were unable to approve 2019 and 2020 minutes because we were using solely virtual meetings the past 2 years and did not have a quorum. Copies of the minutes were on the table by the door when you came in this evening. Is there a motion to waive the reading of the annual meeting minutes? So moved. Is there a second? Second. Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that we are waiving a reading of the minutes of the 2019, 2020, and 2021 annual meetings. We will vote by using the blue cards you were provided with when you registered. All those in favor, please raise your voting cards. Thank you. Any opposed? The motion passes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the 2019, 2020, and 2021 annual meeting? Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? It's been moved and seconded that we approve the meetings of the 2019, 2020, and 2021 annual meetings. All those in favor vote by raising your blue voting cards. Thank you. Any opposed? The motion passes.
We have no unfinished business tonight, and there is no new business before us on the agenda. Would Ashley Johnson please come forward and give us a report from the nominating committee?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ashley Johnson. It's my pleasure to serve as the Vice Chair of the Association's 2022 Nominating Committee. I'd like to explain the process for selecting the candidates for directors that appear on this year's ballot. Chugach ran notices in the Anchorage Daily News in January and February, in the Chugach Outlet newsletter, and on Chugach's website advertising the 2 seats on the Chugach Electric Board of Directors. Interested members were instructed to submit applications to the nominating committee by February 8th. The nominating committee interviewed 5 members who submitted applications. They were Harry Crawford, Leslie Fritz Cruson, Rachel Morse, Bernie Smith, and Jed Whitaker. The committee voted to recommend 4 of the applicants for the ballot, and the nominations were posted in accordance with the bylaws. The bylaws also provide for a petition process to add names to the ballot, and Chugach continued to advertise through mid-March for candidates to run by petition. This year, 1 petition was successfully submitted by C.C. Cooper. Thus, in total, you have 5 names on your ballot to select from for the 2 positions open in this year's board election. On April 14th, Chugach held and video recorded a candidate forum to provide an opportunity for members to get to know these 5 individuals running for the board. The video of the candidate forum has been on the Chugach website for the past month. There's a sign-up sheet at the back of the room if you'd like to join us next year on this committee, and I would encourage you to do so. In closing, I'd like to thank my fellow 2022 nominating committee members for serving with me on the committee. They are Patty Brogan, Chair, Heidi Hansen, Jessica Koloski, Leslie Riddle, and Steve Straight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. And now would Matt Moore of the Bylaws Committee please come forward to give us a report of the Bylaws Committee?
Good evening. My name is Matt Moore, and I served as Vice Chair of the Association's Bylaws Committee. In December and January, Chugach members were given the opportunity to submit proposed changes to the bylaws by sending them to the committee's attention. This was advertised in the Anchorage Daily News, the Chugach Outlet newsletter, and on chugachelectric.com. There was 1 proposed bylaw change reviewed by the committee this year. The committee considered it and voted to recommend it be adopted. This proposal appears on your ballot along with the Bylaws Committee comments and recommendations. If you're a Chugach member, I would like to encourage you to volunteer for one of the member committees. There's a sign-up sheet in the back of the room. In closing, I would like to thank my fellow 2022 Bylaws Committee members for serving with me on the committee. They are Michael Powell, Chair, Frank Gwartney, Jessica Koloski, Mitchell Roth, Bernie Smith, and Peter Taylor. Thank you.
This year, for the first time in many years, we reconstituted a member advisory council, which is an ad hoc committee to serve and help advise the board on some issues of the electric cooperative. So Esther Cox is coming to the podium now. She is the co-chair of the member advisory council, and she's going to give us a report on how their year has gone so far.
Good evening. My name is Esther Cox. I am one of the co-chairs of the Member Advisory Council. The Member Advisory Council was appointed by the Board of Directors at the end of last year. There are 14 members, and our terms are for 1 year. We have met twice during 2022, once in January and again in April. We have 2 more meetings this year, one in June and then one in October. The main mission of the MAC is to advise the board on ways to get the membership more engaged with their electric cooperative. And we do have a liaison from the Chugach board to our board, and his name is Sam Kason, and he is a very, very fine member to have for us. We've had some good discussions in our 2 meetings, and we look at 2 more in the final 2 meetings. The other members of the Member Advisory Council are Wynn Ald, Carl Berger, Nathaniel Betts, Brian Buchholz, and he's the other co-chair, Patrick Flynn, Ashley Johnson, Kathy Johnson, Leslie Fritz Cruson III, Louise Lazur, Bernie Smith, Jay Hermanson, Mitchell Roth, and Charles Scandalberry. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. Now we're going to move on to the candidate statements. The candidates are going to come to the stage one at a time up to that podium, and they have 2 minutes to give a short speech. As mentioned earlier, we have 5 candidates running for 2 seats. Candidate Fritz Cruson could not make it tonight. He became ill this week, and he is participating. He's watching and then listening tonight, but we don't have two-way communication. But he already knew that that was not going to be possible. But Fritz is on your ballot and is a candidate for tonight. Candidates, I would like you to know Sandra, who's sitting right down here. Sandra is going to give you time cues as you're speaking. She's going to give you a 45-second, a 15-second, and a stop. So when you're up here talking, if you could occasionally look at Sandra to see how much time you have left in your 2 minutes. So I'm just going to invite them up one at a time from alphabetical order, and come up to the podium, please. And the first candidate tonight is Cece Cooper.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to the annual meeting. It's been a couple years since we've had those. I did not bring my written candidate statement, so I just wanted to welcome you, and I hope you have gotten a chance to attend or watch the candidate forum, where you get a chance to see what each candidate is about. But I was a member of this board about 4 years ago. I served for 6 years, and it's been a great opportunity to serve the members. I do have the time, the interest to put into this job, and I would encourage everyone's involvement into the cooperative, especially with the merging or the acquisition of MLMP by Chugach. I would like to see more former MLMP members being engaged and understand that they're now part of a cooperative where they have a say through voting, through serving on member committees, and through running for the board themselves. Thank you.
The next candidate tonight is Harry Crawford.
Hi there. I am very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to see many of my old friends that I've known over the years. I spent 9 years on this board, and a couple of years ago I was term limited out, but now I'm eligible again, and I missed you so much I had to come back. But there are a couple of things that I'd really like for you to know about my candidacy, and that is, one, I believe in transparency. I don't believe in going into executive session except in very dire situations, because we're not in competition with the other utilities. We should be working together with our neighbor, our sister utilities, and the way to do that is to be very open and transparent. And the other thing is that I'm an advocate of renewable energy. 1990 and 91, I worked on the Bradley Lake Dam. When we we did the Bradley Lake Dam, the cost was 4 cents a kilowatt hour, almost 30 years ago. I mean, or yeah, it is 30. And it's still 4 cents a kilowatt hour. When I came on the board, Cook Inlet gas was about $3 per 1,000 cubic feet. Today, it's over $9 and it's climbing. The thing to do is to stop this dependence on fossil fuel and natural gas that is declining and go more to sustainable energy. And I see my time is up, so I really appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Next tonight is Rachel Morse.
Good evening. I feel like we've already been introduced. You know who I am, but you may not know why I'm running for re-election. I think how much our power costs and how it's sourced are some of the most important factors that impact our community and our state. And therefore, representing all of you on this board is some of the most important work that I do. Here's what I have to offer you. Chugach and you, the members through Chugach, have invested a lot in me, hours upon hours of time alongside other board members, hearing about all these issues from our management team and staff. You've sent me for cooperative director and board leadership credentials at the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association. And I feel like I have a really good command of the issues facing Chugach Electric and our neighbor Railbelt Utilities. I believe I have been instrumental in well-rounded discussions about Eklutna, renewable resources, regional planning, gas supply, and leadership at Chugach Electric. I know what it takes to serve on the board, and I ask for your vote and for your support to continue working for you for another 4 years. Thank you.
And our final candidate tonight in the room is Bernie Smith. Bernie?
Thank you. My name is Bernie Smith. I am running for the board of Chugach Electric Association because I've been involved with the Railbelt Utilities for decades, and I know how the organization works. I'm very proud of the management of Chugach Electric. They have done an amazing job. If you don't believe it, just look outside at the power plant out there. It is an amazing job that they did, 5 years ago, I guess. I've been involved with the Regulatory Commission of Alaska as a commissioner, as an analyst, and as the manager of engineering. So I think I can bring some knowledge to the board that will help through the big issues that are facing Chugach right now. One of the biggest ones is getting the power from Bradley Lake up to Anchorage. They're going to have to increase the transmission line up there. That's one thing. They're planning on putting another diversion, like the Battle Creek diversion, to bring more power, fill the dam up, and that's the Dixon diversion, which is going to be a 10-year project. And this next thing is the Chugach is going to be having a rate case in 2023, and because of my experience on the commission, I think I can help the board understand the importance of a rate case, and I would really appreciate your vote. Thank you very much.
Okay, now we're going to take a short recess. That's 10 minutes, and that allows anybody who's a member who has not voted to go ahead and vote, and you can also still register and be counted among the registration tonight. Also, I want to mention, in case you missed any of the advertising, if you vote in the annual election, you are eligible to win 1 free year of electricity. And we are going to draw 2 names at the end of the night to announce who won the electricity. And that's just for voting. You don't even have to be here. Before we take our quick break, I want to do an informal poll. How many of you attended the member event outside today? Okay, how many of you like the idea of us doing the member event and the meeting together like this? Okay, looks like a pretty good turnout. All right, we have never done it on the same day, so curious to see. Hopefully you all had a good time. So we're gonna go, I'm looking at my phone, it's 6:28. We'll be back at 6:38, it's in 10 minutes. We will have the Board of Directors report, the Treasurer's report, our acting CEO Arthur is gonna make a report. Then we will do the results of the election, and then those spectacular door prizes and the vehicle. So please come back in 10 minutes, thanks.
Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. The meeting is now reconvened. Registration and voting are closed. Having the opportunity to serve on the Chugach Board of Directors is one of the advantages of a member-owned cooperative. Directors serve for a 4-year term, not to exceed 3 consecutive 4-year terms. Serving on the board is an honor, and I think I can speak for all of us when I say it's a real privilege. As you know, the Chugach Board, management, and staff have spent a lot of time and effort over the past several years working on the acquisition of municipal light and power, as well as other important initiatives. Tonight, we have a short video for you with comments from the current 7 board members talking about serving on the Chugach Board and looking back on 2021 and what was accomplished. Thank you.
The thing that I'm most proud of from being on the board and proud of for Chugach is the acquisition of ML&P. I'm also proud of the Chugach Electric and past ML&P employees' focus on the ongoing merger of the 2 entities. It's not over when you just cut over on the day it happens. It takes months, if not years, for it to be one single efficient operating entity. So that's probably the most important thing or most critical thing.
I remain really proud of another accomplishment that the Chugach team did, and that's their response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Early on, they implemented a number of safety protocols. They were able to continue their business as usual, maintaining the lights on for our members, maintaining reliability, and maintaining safety.
I think I am very proud of the RFP that Chugach has released for a large renewable project because it signals to our members and the rest of the rail belt, as well as outside entities, that we are ready to diversify our generation sources and move into the new age of electric utilities.
I think that we should be most proud of the fact that we were able to start the integration process between ML&P and Chugach as an organization, and we remained flexible during the really challenging times of 2021 to set ourselves up to begin to realize some of the savings and some of the intent and the good things that were to come out of the consolidation.
I'm proud of the consolidation. We're getting along. We have some bumps, but we're getting along.
I'm so excited that we got to year 1 of the acquisition and we kept our commitments and we are moving forward on realizing savings.
I'm particularly proud of the Clutna water flows that I hope signal a new level of community involvement and engagement in our organization.
I'd like to see more engagement. I'd like to see them look to Chugach more. We are the image of what they founded. They founded this thing to make their life better.
Chugach Electric Association is a member-owned cooperative. It's ours. Without member engagement to participate in the committees such as bylaws committee, or even if you want to run for the board, without a broad sector of people who want to participate, the cooperative surely isn't going to run quite as well as it should.
The one thing is to make your voice heard. So it's always really important to vote in our elections. We also have different opportunities to sit on committees. We have a new member advisory committee, the bylaws committee and the nominations committee.
We have many, many ways to get involved, whether that's one of our traditional committees of the nominations committee, the bylaws committee, or the elections committee, or our new member advisory committee, or also running for the board. There are many ways to be involved. If you're interested, get in touch and we'll share with you how you can get engaged.
I certainly enjoy when they come to our board meetings and hear what goes on with our co-op. The more that our members know and understand what we do, the better decisions we can make for the future of our co-op.
If not now, when? If not you, who? The incredibly dynamic field of utility work needs people to be engaged because it really does make a difference for the future of the city and of the whole world.
I would encourage members to reach out to me, reach out to all of us. We love to hear from members. We love their questions. We love to engage in discussions with them. We welcome members coming to meetings. We don't get very many members that come to meetings, and we're always tickled when they do. And we promise you that we will give you our time and our attention and address your concerns.
I think we are really close to being able to reduce our dependency on fossil fuels and to increase our supply of clean, renewable electric energy. And when we get that done, anything from gadgets to cars can be run on clean electricity, and I think that's going to be so exciting.
Just think about the transition that's happening with the personal transportation, the switch from diesel and gasoline-powered automobiles to EVs. All that power that goes into those batteries for EVs to move millions of people around the state, the nation, is going to come from largely power plants.
The integrated resource plan that the new Rail Belt Reliability Council will produce is going to have an impact for generations of Alaskan industry and residential ratepayers.
It's the youth, it's the young people, it's the encouragements, it's the enthusiasm, it's the creativity of these young people. That's where the future is.
I think the electric industry is changing. We're focusing on carbon reduction, we're focusing on the climate, renewable energy, and I think that the strategies for the future are really the most exciting thing about our industry, coming up with the strategies that will work, that will help to get us where we need to be.
We are entering the era where we are going to be transitioning to clean energy. And that's exciting. There's technology advances that are coming down the pike.
We are, if not in, then on the cusp of a revolution in what an electric utility is. And I find that very exciting. I think it allows us to be creative and bold and audacious, and it's fun to be a part of that.
So if you watch that video and said, oh my gosh, that was so good, I'd love to see it again, it's on the Chugach website. So please feel free to watch it over and over again. And next up, I would like Treasurer Harold Hollis to please come up, and he's going to deliver the Treasurer's report.
Thank you, Julie. Good evening, and what a great evening it is. And thank you for being here tonight. I'm very pleased to be serving as the treasurer for the Chugach Board of Directors. The 2021 financials are in the 2021 annual report that was referenced earlier, and we encourage you to take that home with you, please. But tonight, I have a video with some of the highlights from the 2021 financial report. And as most of you know, 2021 is the first full year of consolidated operations since Chugach acquired ML&P. So with that, do we have a video?
Net utility plant asset base at the end of 2021 comprised of 42% generation, 15% transmission, 29% distribution, 11% BRU, which is the Beluga River Unit gas field, and 3% general plant and other, which is largely structures, transportation, office, and communication equipment. Our sales in 2021 totaled approximately 2.1 million megawatt hours, with the majority of the sales providing service to our commercial and residential members, and the remaining sales related to economy sales to Golden Valley Electric Association, power pool sales to Matanuska Electric Association, and sales to our wholesale customer, the City of Seward. This compared to sales in 2020 of approximately 1.3 million megawatt hours, due largely to a full year of sales after the ML&P acquisition. As a result of our sales, our commercial and residential members provided approximately 95% of the $354.5 million of revenue in 2021. Our total cost of electric service of $345.3 million comprised of fuel and operations and maintenance, which made up 64%, while the depreciation of our assets and interest on the debt to fund those assets made up 29%. We also purchased power in 2021, primarily from the Bradley Lake Hydroelectric Project, Fire Island, the Municipality of Anchorage's ownership in Eklutna, and Matanuska Electric through our power pooling agreement, which accounted for 7% of our total costs. Our revenue, less expenses, generated a margin of $9.6 million in 2021, greater than the margins we generated in 2020. As a not-for-profit, member-owned cooperative, these margins will ultimately be returned to our members. Our financial ratios, margins for interest over interest, and times interest earned ratio, which are measures of our ability to service our short and long-term interests, came in at 1.22 and 1.23 respectively, while our equity ratio increased to 14.75% from 13.89%, primarily due to the continued payments on our outstanding debt. Speaking of debt, we continued to utilize commercial paper for our working capital needs during 2021, taking advantage of low interest rates, which averaged 0.25%. The majority of our debt, however, is fixed and carries an average rate of approximately 3.73%. We are able to obtain and secure debt at low rates, due in part to our favorable credit ratings. We currently have an A rating from Standard & Poor's Global Ratings and an A- from Fitch Ratings. And lastly, we received an unqualified opinion from our independent auditors for 2021.
And speaking of auditors, now I would like to introduce our auditor, Michael Hayhurst from KPMG. Michael is the engagement partner for the Chugach audit. And Michael is in the back of the audience there, making sure that we are doing everything correctly. Thank you, Michael. If anyone has any questions about tonight's financial report, please hold your questions until the Q&A portion of the meeting. I will also be here after the meeting to answer questions as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Harold. Now our acting CEO, Arthur Miller, is going to come back and give his report. Guys in the back, make sure you have your slides ready. You guys know what that Zoom bombing is? Have you heard about that? I had a heart attack over here a minute ago when that video came up. I thought, oh my gosh, we're being Zoom bombed. but I don't think that happened. So anyway, with that, Acting CEO Arthur Miller.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Arthur Miller, Acting Chugach Electric Association CEO. It is truly a pleasure to be able to hold the annual meeting in person after 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As background, the idea of Chugach Electric was created at a gathering in 1947 of about 200 people at an Anchorage area high school auditorium to talk about forming an electric cooperative. Following that meeting, on March 1, 1948, Chugach was incorporated as a not-for-profit electric cooperative. Fast forwarding to today, the last several years have been extraordinary, not only from operating the company during a pandemic, but also successfully transitioning into a larger and stronger electric utility as a result of combining Chugach and MLMP into a single organization. Before talking about the acquisition, I want to thank you for working with us over the last 2 years during the pandemic. As our load and our revenues declined, many of our members experienced financial challenges in paying electric bills. We were pleased to establish deferred payment agreements, and we distributed over $5 million in pandemic-related aid money that we received from organizations directly to our members. We worked together, and we came through successfully. A significant effort over this past year was the continued integration of Chugach and MLMP into a single organization. We added more than 200 employees and over 20,000 new members into the Chugach system, and we did it during a pandemic with no interruptions in electric service. We are now a significantly larger organization with total assets of $1.8 billion, which puts us among the top 15 electric cooperatives in the nation as measured by total asset value. We have learned a lot, and the integration is ongoing, but the combining of the two organizations has been nothing but a huge success. Most importantly, the combining of the utilities has accomplished what we set out to accomplish, to permanently lower our overall cost structure in the provision of electric service. I am very pleased to announce that we have realized savings and benefit of over $45 million during the first 14 months of combined operations, far exceeding our goal of $30 million that were contained in our original projections. Primary areas of savings include personnel cost reductions, fuel cost reductions, information technology reductions, intergovernmental charges, and related economies of scale efficiencies throughout the organization. And these benefits are passed on to you, our members, in the form of lower electric rates than they otherwise would have been had the acquisition not taken place. This increased efficiency, however, is not only about cost, it's also about combining the outstanding talent of two workforces into one. It's also about lowering our carbon footprint. As one utility, we are able to capitalize on the economic dispatch of the most efficient generation facilities in the state of Alaska, the South Central Power Project and Plant 2A. Through December of 2021, this has resulted in a reduction of over 88,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide, which is equivalent to 19,000 gasoline-powered passenger vehicles over a one-year period. Chugach, without question, is well positioned for the future. While combining the two utilities is a significant accomplishment of itself, we're not sitting still. We've made significant strides to advance the transition from gas to electric vehicles. We established a special electric vehicle charging tariff that removes barriers to fast chargers. We continued our electric vehicle incentive programs to promote the use of EVs in Alaska by helping members install charging stations at homes and businesses. We worked with other organizations as well, including other railbelt utilities, potential site hosts, the Alaska Energy Authority, to facilitate the installation of fast charging stations along the railbelt road corridor. Additionally, we have continued to advance renewable generation by expanding the eligibility of under our net metering program, where members may install renewable generation such as solar panels at homes and businesses throughout our service area. We also issued a request for proposal for renewable generation as we work towards our goal to add 100,000 megawatt hours of renewable generation on the Chugach system in the next several years. We are currently working with potential energy suppliers in evaluating several projects in a way that would not have an adverse impact on electric rates. We entered into a new wholesale power sales agreement with the City of Seward, and with other stakeholders, we advanced the Railbelt Reliability Council to help ensure the system's evolving infrastructure needs are contemplated on a regional basis and that the plan is informed by a variety of stakeholders. There is no question the electric utility landscape is changing, and we believe for the better. We are positioning Chugach for the future by focusing on key priority areas that will help advance Chugach for long-term viability. We all have a heightened awareness of our actions on the environment. We are transitioning towards renewable generation, both through distributed generation at homes and businesses, but also through utility-scale renewables, including wind, solar, and tidal power. We are transitioning towards beneficial electrification, where fossil fuel is replaced with electricity in a way that reduces emissions and energy costs. Some examples include electric vehicles, battery-powered or operated equipment, such as lawnmowers or snowblowers. And beneficial electrification is really a win-win-win proposition. It reduces cost to members, it reduces carbon emissions, and properly structured, it reduces electric rates through greater utilization of the electric system. In addition, we recognize that you, our members, and our customers have increased expectations on what you expect from your utility provider. You not only expect reliable and affordable power, you expect excellent customer service, and we work every day to make that happen. We embrace these changes, and we are adjusting how we do business to maximize value. As we look to the future, we have a continued focus on improving service to you, our members, and working with other stakeholders throughout the rail belt. In closing, there is a great deal of work each day that is required in the electric utility industry as a whole and at Chugach specifically. With over 113,000 service locations, with generation capacity of 790 megawatts, with thousands of miles of transmission and distribution lines, 61 substations, we are continually working to keep the system safe and reliable while keeping rates low. Our mission of providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity through superior service and sustainable practices is something we take very seriously. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you especially for joining us this evening on such a beautiful spring afternoon. After the election results are announced, I will come back to answer some of your questions. And there are cards on the table in the back of the room where you can write down questions and put them in the rectangular box. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arthur. Before I have Don Bundick come up to announce the election results, I just want to quickly mention that this is the first time we've had this event at ChangePoint, and I just want to say that their staff has been outstanding. Every element of putting this together was so easy, and they were very accommodating. So I wanted to thank ChangePoint. When you're putting on a big event and you're constantly asking for another this and that, and they say, okay, that sounds good, it's been amazing. So I just wanted to throw that in there. And now I would like Don Bundick to please come forward with the election results.
Good evening. My name is Dawn Bundick, and it has been my privilege to serve as Master Election Judge for this year's election. The election committee is made up of member volunteers appointed by the board and are responsible for ensuring a fair and impartial election process. Chugach hired the certified public accounting firm of BDO USA LLP to serve as election contractor and to conduct the mechanics of the election. The board of directors set March 31st as the record date for this year's election. On April 20th, election materials were sent electronically to 78,513 members, and voting packets were mailed to 546 members who had requested them. Members had the choice to vote by mail, secure drop box, via the internet, or in person tonight. Total valid mail ballots and electronic ballots received were 195, representing a return rate of 0.2% of the members on record. Mail-in voting ended on Tuesday, May 17th, and electronic voting ended at 2 p.m. today. In-person voting as part of the annual meeting opened at 3 p.m. today. Earlier today, paper and electronic ballots were tallied. And tonight, in-person ballots were counted and added to the vote count. Election materials were posted online and members notified of election milestones through postcard mailings and through email communications. Paper ballots were still available for members who requested it. In addition to postcard mailings and email, members were kept informed of the process through regular updates in the outlet and on the Chugach website. Please join me in recognition of the service provided by my fellow election committee members working on your behalf for the past few months to ensure a fair and impartial election process. They are Kathy Johnson, Louise Lazar, Nathaniel Betts, Patrick Flynn, Stan Jones, Jim McGowan, William Simpson, Patty Bogan, Lawrence Camp, and James Labidas. I'd also like to thank Director Harold Hollis, who served as the board's liaison to the election committee. Here are tonight's election results. 10,396 electronic ballots cast via internet. 86 in-person paper ballots cast at tonight's meeting. In all, a total of 10,482 ballots were cast by the above means in this year's election, representing 11.6% of the members of record. I'll first announce results of voting on the bylaw changes, then follow with the results of the director's election. Here are the results on the proposed bylaw amendments. The proposed bylaw amendment changing the due date of paper ballots received 7,816 yes votes and 2,713 no votes. Again, that was 7,816 yes votes and 2,713 no votes. Therefore, the bylaws amendment passed. Now, I will announce the results of the election of directors. The two candidates who received the most votes will be elected to a 4-year terms. I will give the results of each candidate and read their vote totals twice. C.C. Cooper received 4,392 votes. Again, 4,392 votes. Harry Crawford received 3,194 votes. Again, 3,194 votes. Fritz Krunzen received 3,453 votes. Again, 3,453 votes. Rachel Morris received 5,800 votes. Again, 5,800 votes. Bernie Smith received 2,457 votes. Again, 2,457 votes. Therefore, Rachel Morris and Cece Cooper have been elected to 4-year terms. This concludes my election report.
All right, now we're going to take some questions. Arthur's going to come up from the other podium, and I'm going to read the questions. And we're going to do several minutes of these and maybe take a couple from the room, but I know you guys want those door prizes. So, Arthur, the first question is, where is Chugach with renewable energy, solar and wind?
We 100% support solar and wind and renewable generation technologies. I think that, as I mentioned earlier, we have a goal to add 100,000 megawatt hours of additional generation on the Chugach system in the next several years. The most promising technologies are both wind and solar on those, and I think the challenges that we face is to put in, to integrate those technologies into the Chugach system without having an adverse impact on electric rates. And that's something that we're working toward continuously, trying to adopt those technologies into the grid without having a negative impact to rate levels.
Are there going to be, I think this is power, what is I think the question is power saving wind turbines for cheaper electricity. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but.
I think that's similar to the earlier question about renewable generation technologies and where Chugach stands on those.
There's two questions for folks who would like to know when we're going to have our next payout of capital credits, and do former ML&P members, are they eligible for capital credits?
Very good questions. So right now in our overall financial forecast, we expect that we'll have retirements in the $4 million range over the next 4 to 5 years, 4 to 6 years, I should say, and then increasing at that point thereafter. However, it is evaluated on an annual basis to looking at our equity level and our financial targets, and then that determination is made at that point in time. Number two, the second question is, what about former ML&P legacy customers? Will they receive capital credits anytime soon? One of the things that we're looking at is a different type of a hybrid structure for the retirement of capital credits. So in that way, we would retire a certain percentage of capital credits for members of record, for example, last year, and then a certain other percentage for members of record 25 years ago, and try to get a hybrid approach that way. That way, all members, both current and historical members, will participate in the retirement of capital credits. That's something that we're just looking into. It's something that we made a commitment to look into as part of the acquisition of ML&P, and we expect to hopefully within the later this year or early next year establish a formal policy regarding how we are going to treat those.
What are current electrical linemen paid per hour since the combination of the two utilities?
I don't have the figures off the top of my head. I think what we could do, if you're interested in knowing what that information is, the salaries, you can please contact us and we'll get that information to you.
This person would like us to add auto pay to our monthly statements if your account is on auto pay. I think we've heard this before.
We have it. We think that's a great idea. One of the things that we are working on right now is putting in a new customer service information system. It's a fairly long process. It's a fairly complicated process, that's one of the features that we're hoping to, or not hoping, we will be incorporating in on that new system. That's our target to have that completed is in no later than 2 years, but we are optimistic it will be done before then.
Please provide confirmation of online voting. I think I got a confirmation email when I online voted, so I'm not sure what happened there, but I just wanted to read the question. Generally, you should get a confirmation when you online vote. There's 2 questions, Arthur, related to the recent CEO search. What happened with the CEO hiring? Why not continue with the first pick? And what was the name of the headhunting firm that recommended that termination?
So the search for the CEO is ongoing. The board is evaluating their options and looking into it. And then I'm going to leave, given that these are really personnel matters and some of this is under litigation, that's where I'm going to end my response. The hiring, or the firm that did assist, I think that was in reference in the newspapers, was JK Strategies, who assisted in that effort.
And with the interest in renewable energy, does Chugach's plans include transition measures and timelines? Can you give a rough estimate of the time when Chugach wants to achieve 50% of renewable energy?
I think if we could achieve 50% of renewable energy within tomorrow, we would do it. And I think it's going to be an ongoing process as we evaluate the different technologies and how they're integrated into the system. There are some very promising projects on the horizon, even though it will still take time. One of the projects that was just recently issued in the news release was Dixon Creek, which is a water diversion project that adds more water to Bradley Lake, and that'll add a significant amount of additional megawatt hours to the entire rail belt. But I can assure you that Chugach management, the board of directors, are very much in tune to trying to get to renewables as quickly as we can. We understand the importance of diversification in our generation supply, and it really is critical. The technologies have changed significantly in the last 10 years, and the cost structure has very much improved. However, it's still not at equilibrium, if you will, with the cost of for us generating on a thermal basis. We are looking at, and there is renewable portfolio standard legislation that was introduced in this last session. It did not pass. A bill like that will significantly enhance the ability of utilities to migrate more towards renewable generation, because what those rules require is they permit utilities to add renewables even if the cost structure is a little higher than the existing rate levels. And without that type of a legislation, it's very difficult to get projects approved and going forward. And furthermore, our interest also on top of that is to keep rates as low as possible.
Those are the only written questions. Is there anybody who wants to come up to the microphone here and ask a question? Can you come on up over here? We're kind of doing it Anchorage Assembly style, where you have to come up to the microphone.
My name is Gilbert Moore. I want to find out how secure the electric system is and if any country can shut us down, the power grid.
The question is, how secure is the electric system, and if any country could shut us down?
Our electric system is very, very secure, and we do work with both state and federal agencies in collaborating and making sure that we are always up to date on our technologies and our systems. And there's ongoing training that's done. We take it very seriously, and it's being actively managed.
Okay, so what you're saying is that, some country can't shut the power grid down and shut off the electricity.
I will never say that any company in the United States can make that claim.
No,
but
they have some type of security system to protect from that.
Yes, I mean,
okay, thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else? Maybe one last question down here. Oh.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to provide a comment. I'm Jennifer with Matanuska Electric Association, and we just wanted to say on behalf of our membership, thank you so much to Chugach for being a great neighbor co-op to us and providing the assistance with your line crews during the windstorm that we faced at the New Year. At the peak, we had 22,000 of our members without power, and you guys sent in your crews to help assist us during a time of need and a time of crisis. And we just wanted to say thank you so much for just being a great neighboring co-op to us.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank
All right, now we're going to move on to the door prizes. And I know that folks will stick around when the meeting is over and answer some more questions. Don't go far, Arthur, because I'm going to have you draw. But Change Point does have to change out this room tonight, so that's one reason we're kind of trying to manage our time. Arthur, do you want to come and draw these door prizes for us? So Teresa Kirka in the back. Where are you, Teresa? Oh, somebody, who has my door prizes? Bonnie? So Bonnie in the back has them, and so if you have your number called, go back there and Bonnie will give you the envelope with your, so first we're gonna draw the blue tickets, and this one is a $100 gift card to Club Paris. Yeah, and we all know how expensive steaks are right now. Okay, $100 gift card to Club Paris, 582339. 582339, woo, Dawn. Dawn Bundick, okay? They told me I can't go too fast because they have to get these envelopes out. This one is a $100 gift card to Ginger, the restaurant in downtown Anchorage. We try to buy our gift cards from businesses that are in our service territory so we can support them. 582159. 582159. Who's going to Ginger? Do we have a winner? I can't see. Oh, Lisa? Okay, Lisa in the back. Congratulations. Now a $100 gift card to the bike shop. 582206. 582206. Lady in the back, can you go over to the Bonnie? No, wrong one? No, 582206. Is that person here? Going once? Should we draw another one? All right. $582,218. All right, there you go. That was for the bike shop. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not sticking my hand in there. I have too many friends here. $100 gift card to Cars Safeway. Because who doesn't need groceries? Blue, all blue. Pink is the very end. That's the truck. 582390. 582390. People are shouting numbers at me. No, not that one. 582390. No? I'm going to draw again. Okay. We're still on Cars Safeway, $100. Arthur's digging to the bottom. 582307. 582307. Over there, lucky lady. This is a $100 Visa gift card. 582123. All right, lady in the middle with the pretty flower on her shirt. Yeah, yep. A $100 gift card to Lowe's. $582,167. 582,167. Lady right there with the black mask on. Bonnie, do you see her? Okay. $100 gift card to Fred Meyer. 582364. 582364. No? No. Did that one get one? one? There's someone in the back. Is that 582364, Bonnie? Okay, we did have a winner. Okay. $100 gift card to Rustic Goat. I know where you guys like to eat. 582302. 582302. Lady right there. A $100 gift card to Bear's Tooth, which is also good at Moose's Tooth. 582124. Right there. All right. And this is our last gift card, and then we draw for the truck, which, by the way, I've been carrying the keys all day. $100 gift card to Fred Meyer, 582238. 582238? Young man right there with the red, white, and blue hat on? Is it 238? 582238? Are we confirmed? Okay. Oh, who has the electricity? Who won the electricity? Oh, it's right here. Okay, 2 people who get a 1 free year of electricity up to 600 kilowatt hours. Nancy DeRigo. Nancy, are you here? Oh, you don't have to be here to win. Nancy, do you happen to be here? Okay, and the second winner is Roberta Madison Gravel. Okay, both of those members get 1 free year of electricity. And now for the truck. That you can drive away with tonight if you want. I'm so nervous. 457325. 457325. Woo! We have a winner. Yep. We're gonna, yeah. And now Rachel, would you please come back, Director Morse, and adjourn our meeting? Thank you.
All right, this wraps our 2022 annual meeting. Thank you for being here and celebrating together what it means to be part of a member-owned co-op. Immediately after adjournment tonight, the board will hold a brief meeting to swear in new members. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting? Second? Good. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.